You wake up when it's still dark outside, you're tired, the bus is late, you didn't study enough for the oral exam, and somehow this became your normal life for 5 years. When people think about Italy, they imagine pizza, beautiful cities, football, but almost nobody talks about what school here is actually like. The pressure, the chaos, the outdated buildings, the strict teachers, the anxiety before an interrogation, and the strange feeling that this stressful year somehow becomes your memories that you'll never forget. So today I want to show you the reality of being an Italian high school student. One thing people don't really understand about Italian school is how the pressure builds up quietly over time. It's not always loud or dramatic in the beginning, but it slowly becomes part of your routine until you don't even notice anymore. In Italy, high school also forces you to make a pretty big decision early on. When you're around 13 or 14, you already choose the type of school you want to attend, and that choice actually shapes your next 5 years. Scientific school, classical school, technical institute, language school, art school, each one has a completely different workload and identity. I personally attended a technical institute, and what surprised me the most is how quickly everything becomes intense once you start. Especially because of how exam works. In Italy it's not just written tests, there are strong focus on oral exams. So you are constantly expected to know things and explain them loud, in front of everyone, without much warning. That creates a very specific kind of tension in class. You're never fully relaxed even on normal days. And then there is another thing that nobody really talks about, the fact that repeating the year is actually quite common, especially in the first year when students are still adapting. And again, in the final years when the pressure suddenly increases a lot because everything starts to matter more, especially the maturità. It's not something people openly talk about every day, but everyone knows it's possible, and that alone changes the atmosphere in the classroom more than people think. Nobody really talks about is the condition of many Italian schools. Not all of them, of course, but in a lot of cases the buildings feels old. And I don't just mean a bit outdated, I mean really worn down in everyday details. In my school, for example, you could see it everywhere. Desks full of scratches and graffiti, years of studying before us, chairs that didn't always feel stable, walls that were marked damaged or just never really fixed properly. Even small things like door or bathroom were not great. In some bathroom there were even proper doors anymore. There were also situations where things would get stolen sometimes, like personal items left in classroom or bags not fully safe if you weren't careful. And over time you kind of learn to adapt to all of that. Technology wasn't much better either, projector that didn't always work, old computer that took forever to start, and labs that were missing basic equipment or not fully usable. But the strange thing is, even with all of that, you just get used to it. At some point you stop questioning how it should be and you just accept it as normal school life. Teachers in Italy can be completely different from each other. Some genuinely care about students. You can feel their passion immediately. Those are the teachers you remember years later. But if I'm being honest, a lot of teachers also seemed emotionally disconnected. Sometimes it genuinely felt like they were just for the salary. They entered the class tired, explained the lesson with zero energy, gave homework and left. No connection, no motivation, nothing. Despite everything, the friendship are probably the best part, because when you spend years with the same people every single day, you end up growing together, you survive stress together, you complain together, you help each other during tests. And honestly, most of my best memories are not about studying, they're about small moments, laughing during class, school trips, talking before exam, celebrating after surviving difficult weeks. These moments stay with you forever, even the stressful parts somehow become nostalgic later, which is weird to think about it. Looking back now, I think Italian school taught me much more than just subject. It taught me discipline, how to deal with pressure, how to survive mentally exhausting periods, and honestly, sometimes just showing up every day felt difficult. Did I enjoy every moment? Definitely not. There were mornings where I genuinely didn't want to go. But now I understand that those years shaped me more than I realized at the time. Yeah, that's what being an Italian high school student is really like. Stressful, chaotic, unforgettable. And if you ever been through it, you probably know exactly what I meant. Let me know how your school is in your country in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. See you to the next one. Sorry for my English.